Welcome, everybody, to our March DeNicholas director call. I'm so glad to have everybody on here. And I have our special guest, my dear friend, Judy Joel from the home office. I love her. We have a long history, don't we, Judy?
We do indeed.
Yep. And so whenever I need a pick me up, a kick in the pants, a fire starter under me, I call Judy and I'm like, Judy, she said, girl, what's going on? Let's fix it. But she has been a huge inspiration and motivation for me and our organization. And she knows that we've had, I don't want to say a rough couple months, year, but we kind of have. And, we've had a lot of changeover with our directors and, um, she just kind of helped support me through that and how to deal with people making different life choices and deciding, maybe their time with Pampered Chef has ended, and then we've had some new directors come in. So she's just really been a good support for me on where we are and where we're going. So many of you all know that we March is our requalification month to determine what our title is going to be. And many of you also know that we are not sitting at national executive structure. If you look at our structure right now, we are a solid executive team, which is two levels below national and where we want to be, but it is where we are. That's where we're finding ourselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that's where we're going to stay, but it is where we are currently. And so our goal for March, my goal for our organization is to maintain a senior executive structure and to be paid and qualified as a senior executive team, which means that we need to have 9 first gen, 5 second gen, and 1 3rd gen. We have everything in place except for the first generation, and I'm working with some Rockstar consultants for them to take those seats in our leader team. But one thing that we do need is we need 100% all in, everybody going green, everybody being paid at their title, and a big celebration at the end. But Judy just is asked her to come here today just to kind of help us, kind of reframe and give us a little extra motivation through. I know February was kind of a rough month trying to get re-engaged, but March is a phenomenal month, and I'm so excited that out of any month of the year, we have this month to help us meet our goals. So, Judy, I'd love to hand the floor over to you, my friend.
You are so sweet. Thank you. And I really appreciate you just kind of doing that review on the front end. Tina Gaunt, how are you? Thank you for jumping into this call. It's great to
Hi,
see you
Judy.
here. Hi. And Amber, I see that you've already jumped in. I see that you and Tammy aren't able to be on camera right now, but if any point you are able to be on camera, just as Kayla's hoping to be a little bit later, we'd love to see your smiling faces as well. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining today. And a huge thank you to Jennifer for inviting me to come. And yes, Jennifer, it's true. Jennifer and I talk very, very often, and we go back quite a ways. And one of the things that I love doing as part of my role here at Pampered Chef is really talking with directors, upper level directors like all of you, with our executives, our senior executives, our national executive directors, because I know there is a time in every single person's career, and probably multiple times, when things are not going exactly the way you want them to go. And that's normal, right? I think many of you know that one of our national executive directors, Sherry Carr, is retiring, and you may have heard her speak recently on the director call. And one of the things Sherry shared with all of the executives on the exec call, and I do believe she shared it with all the directors, is that throughout her 35-year career, she promoted to national, her team promoted to national executive team, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And so I want you all to know is this is normal. There are many of our executives, our senior executives, our national executives who have gone through these lulls in their business, but were able to bring that back up again so that they could achieve the success they were looking for. Okay. And I know some of you have experienced that as well. Some of you in this room were probably advanced senior. Leah, Kayla, I know you were executive leaders with us, and I still see you that way, just as I tell Jennifer all the time. I see you, Jennifer, as a national executive director. I see Leah, I see Kayla as executive leaders, and I know when the time is right for both of them, don't have what they're dealing with in their life and in their family right now, right? Some of it not so great and some of it amazingly wonderful, right? Kayla, brand new baby. Leah, I know you're struggling with so much with your dad, your stepfather, like help me. It's like I know it's
Grandmother and father-in-law, both.
okay, grandmother and father-in-law. Okay, I knew it was like so I know so there's a lot, right? We all have things time to time in our life. But what really sets everybody apart as to be able to find success in your life or in this business. Whoops, I got something leaning and it's going crazy. I gotta move it. I had a few notes on my keyboard or my keyboard's going, what are you doing? It's like screaming things at me because the notes are pushing the keys down. Anyway, and the important thing with all of this is how you deal with it. Right? It's not, it's how you deal with the challenges that life has put in front of you and how you come out the other side. And this is a conversation I've had with Jennifer many times, right? And it's really about, what is going on in your life right now that might be slowing you down from doing the things that you want to do, having the success that you want to have. And how do you find a different way to look at your business, right? Tackle those things and maybe even create new habits that'll lead to success. Because sometimes what you were doing then isn't going to work today because of what's going on in your life. Okay. And so I'm sure every single one of you have a story in this room and have had life. Diana Wallace, I'm looking at you right now. I know you certainly have had things, stuff in your life that you've had to deal with as well. And it's always great to see your smiling face and to know that you're still here and you're still pushing on and achieving, going after those goals that you want. And so that's what I want you guys to think about today, right? So as you go into this amazing month of March, where we have so many things to offer, right? I mean, you've heard us say it, double your reach, double your rewards. We have the amazing dinnerware collection. Some of you have already gotten your first set of dinnerware because of your efforts in the month of January. Some of you maybe have missed that first set and looking to get your first set in the month of March. And I'm going to tell you, you want that dinnerware. It is amazing. And this is not going to be the only opportunity. We're going to have opportunities all year round. So don't think because you missed in January, it's not. Okay. I can't tell you any more than what Pampered Chef has already told you, but all year long, you're going to have opportunities. So don't miss this one. Okay, so the dinnerware with one qualified recruit. And then once you have two qualified recruits, all of your recruiting points double for your trip. So put it in the chat for me. Where are you going on your trip this year? Like literally put it in the chat. What is your goal trip? And I want you to be proud out loud, right? It doesn't matter if you're going to Alaska, if you're going to Bermuda, if you're going to the Bahamas, be proud out loud about the one you are aiming for. And then put every single thing into it that you can. And if you're a director sitting there right now thinking, all three, Tammy, I'm with you, girl. I want to go on all three. Do you think they'll let me? I doubt it. We'll see what happens next year. I am going to be in Disney, though. I'm really excited about seeing everybody in Disney. If you haven't picked that trip yet, and in the head you're thinking, yeah, you can do this, even if you didn't get the year off to the start that you wanted to. You just have to decide and commit and focus so you can succeed. Decide what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to be able to say you earned this year. You have to commit to the actions it's going to take to create that success to happen. And then you've got to focus to get it done. So what do I mean by focus? All right. It's not just okay, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to get it. No, focus is, there's a number of layers in focus, right? It's focusing is about first figuring out what are those actions I need to take and when will I do them? My mom used to have this saying, she would call it catch as catch can. Anybody ever hear that? Catch as catch can? Right? Catch as catch can means, well, I'll find a few minutes here and I'll find some time here and maybe tomorrow night and maybe then. That's not how you earn an all expense paid cruise for two. That's worth $4,000, $5,000 more if it's Alaska. That's not how you earn those kinds of things. It's with focused behavior. Now, that doesn't mean you have to work 10 hours a day every day of the week. The fact is you could probably work 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and be able to do the things you need to do be able to do it if you're focused on the right activities. So part one, what are the things that you need to do? When are you going to do them? And part two is the words to say, having the skill, okay? And if you feel like your skill is not where it needs to be able to book and to be able to recruit new consultants, then you need to reach out to the best of the best and find out how the heck they do it. And you've got the best of the best all around you in this organization and in the Carpenter organization and in the Henderson organization and in the Foley organization, right? These 4 organizations are the best of the best of Pampered Chef. And you have access to all of them. Do you know there are people in our company that would kill to have access to what you all have access to? You need to take advantage of that. Okay? So decide what it is you want, commit to yourself that you're going to do the things, and then focus. What are the things you're going to do? When are you going to do them? And then go get the skill that you feel that you might be lacking right now to make it happen. And don't go to people who aren't making it happen to find the skill. You need to go to the people who are making it happen. I'm just going to tell you like it is. All right. You got to go to the people who are making it happen. Who is recruiting and booking and recruiting successfully week after week, month after month, not just in these big months when we make it like give you this extra little, boost, but who's doing it all the time? And there's so many of them, right? In this organization and in the organizations that are support. Everybody with me so far? Decide, commit, focus, and you will succeed. Okay. So let's go back to where we were. Jennifer, has been very, very transparent with all of you. And I know she's been transparent with you in some of the things that happened last year and some of the choices she made in leading this team. And I know that she has been very highly committed to making those changes this year, to being there for every single consultant in her personal team and for all of you and for whatever that you need. That all being said, along the way, you guys have had directors who've made other life decisions, right? Because maybe it wasn't a good time. And you are in a position right now where you've been consistently paid as an executive team. And to move to senior executive team, it's going to take a lift. But Jennifer is committed to this. I know she is because we talk every week about it. Okay. So she has, and really the onus of this is on her. Because the biggest job that has to happen is 3 directors need to be promoted from Jennifer's personal team, promoted or re-promoted from Jennifer's personal team into the first gen. And she has got her blinders on over here, right? She's the same conversation. Are you committed? Are you focused? Who are the people that you're working with? Are they committed, right? And then on this side of the page, it's about helping all of you, right, be qualified at your title this month and next month and the month after and the month after that, right? That should be the goal every month, that we are all qualified and paid at our titles every single month. Why? Because you work for nothing if you're not. Quite honestly, you're not getting paid, and you came into this business to earn an income, right? So we want to help you reach for those dreams and goals, and we want you to earn that income at the level you deserve to earn it at every single month. Yes, Jennifer, absolutely, right? That is so important. And so I want to invite you all to look at your March right now. And I'm going to invite you all to do exactly what I've done with Jennifer. And I've done with you before, Leah, and I've done with you before, Kayla, right? And I want you to look at the month and I want you to say, okay, number one, how much do I personally want to sell? And I want you to write it down. How much do I personally want to sell? And next to that, how many parties will it take to get there? Be honest. Don't go crazy. Don't put down like this crazy town number that in your head you're thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to get there. Like, what number is really going to make you happy? And if you go over, yay, let's celebrate. But if right now you have 2 shows on your calendar or 4 shows on your calendar, don't say I want to sell 20 grand. Let's be real, right? Let's say, you know what? I'd be really happy if I could book enough to sell 10 grand this month. And then if I go over and I hit 15 or 20, then I'm going to celebrate because I'm not going to stop even though I got to where I need to be. Make sense? So how much do you want to sell? How many parties do you need to do? And then next to that, how many do you have right now? Let's be real. And Jen, I want you to be doing exactly the same thing, right, with your team in this exercise. Second, how much do I want my org to sell? Or my personal team, whichever, for some of you it's org, some of you it's personal team. How much do I have right now? I'm watching Leah and she is looking at her reports. I can see Tammy looking at her report. I love that you guys are doing this. Stacy, I can see her going in and looking right now. I love that you're doing this exercise with me. And hopefully, Kayla, you can balance the baby and do all this at the same time. All right, so how much do I want my org to sell? What do I have now? So now you're going to know what you have left.
And you may go into this, but I'm going to, one thing that I think we failed to check on every month is how many shows does your team have booked?
Right.
If you don't know how many shows you have booked, how can you gauge what a goal could be?
Exactly.
So we got to get in the
That's
habit of.
that's exactly where I'm going. Let me and
Okay.
but that's good, Jennifer. You're like reading my mind. I love that. And I'm going to get there. So the next question then is, what is your personal recruiting goal? And then how many do you have so far? Under that, what is your org recruiting goal? How many do you have so far? And the 5th question, and the last one is, do you have a career promotion goal that you are currently after? That you want to achieve, and by when do you want to achieve it? And that I would put down if it's in the next 3 months. Because I'm going to tell you guys, and you all know me, most of you see me at meetings, I am known for like just saying it as it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a director today and you're saying, well, I want to be an executive director in a year, that you just gave yourself permission not to do anything. Because you're hoping and praying that along the way, everything's going to happen. I'm a huge believer in first things first. If you're a director today, when will you be an advanced director? That can, if you really want that, that can happen in 90 days. If you're an advanced director today and you have a career promotion goal, it's senior director, it's not executive yet. You got to do first things first. It's just like your new consultants who start. We've got to get them to senior consultant and team leader before we can get them to director. Sometimes it all happens in the same month, yay, but doesn't always happen that way. Baby steps, work. So if you have a career promotion goal in the next 3 months, write it on line 5. All right, so everybody have all 5? Okay, so your personal, everything starts and ends with your personal business. This is priority number 1, okay? everything starts and ends with it. If you don't currently have the shows on your calendar to reach that number that you put down, then the first thing you need to schedule is the time to make the reach outs. We'll talk about those reach outs in a minute. And how many reach outs will you do? So look at your number, right? So say you need to book 5 more or 10 more, right? How many reach outs do you need to do to book that number of parties this week, next week, so you finish March where you want it to be? How many reach outs need to happen to create that? For some of you, it could be as simple as 10 reach outs a day. For some of you, you might want to do 20, 30. Okay. But what are you willing to commit to yourself that you're going to do? It's not about committing to me or Jennifer. This is not about us, right? This is about you, about the income that you're going to bring into your house to pay the bills that need to be paid, to do the things that you want to do. Okay. The next then is the org. And that's exactly where I was going, Jennifer. How many shows? Do you even know how many shows are going on in your organization this month? If you don't, you need to send out a survey or put the challenge out there, the 30 tracker or the 50 tracker, like the show tracker. Jennifer, you want to chat about that a little bit? I think you know even more about that than I do.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it many times in the past that
that's what successful teams do, right? So go ahead, chat about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you just pick out a attainable goal at the beginning the first time you do it. Typically, for a director team, you need at least 25 shows. That can include yours, but hopefully you can grow and make it more consistent where it does not include yours. Or if you are including yours, bump up that number to 30 or 35. But that just shows your team how everybody has to work together to meet a common goal. It's not just your goal, but it's the team goals together.
Exactly. So have you done that? Do you know, have you done that? What kind of posts could you throw up there today? Our goal this month as a team, as team so-and-so or as organization so-and-so is to hold at least 50 shows. Comment in the chat how many you have so far. And then in the next day, you put it up there again and say, okay, here's where we are today. Comment in the chat every single time you book a show. Okay, how do you keep them? It's not good enough to just come in one day and then hope and pray for the month they do exactly what you told them to. You got to keep it in front of them over and over and over and again with energy, with excitement, with enthusiasm, right? The same reason you're all watching me today saying, who is this crazy woman? She is like you can be this person. I am not naturally this person. People think I am, but Jennifer knows the truth. I tend to be much more quiet, much more reserved. If I walk into a meeting or a party and I'm not at Pampered Chef, I'm not in my element, so to speak, like I'm with my husband, it's like I cling to his arm and I say something to him like this, leave my side and you're dead. Because I am just not comfortable in those situations, right? And he knows it. He knows that I kind of shrink into myself in those situations. Now, Pampered Chef is a little different. I'm very comfortable here with all of you. That's why I can tell you like it is, because I think you know I love you. What is that, miss?
So this is an example of putting your goal out to your team. This is a hot mess because it's all I had to work with at the moment. But this is our recruiting board. We want to add 75 and see, like I'm going to go live in our org page every couple of days and add the new people. Like here's some new people I need to add on here. So I'm going to keep that in front of our org all month long so they can see, because we're planting seeds, my friends. Y'all know that's our theme.
I love this.
They look like cactuses.
They do look like cactuses. Are they?
They are cactus.
Yeah. They are cactuses.
Cacti.
Okay. You know what? A visual works. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Visuals work. And, Jennifer, as the leader of this, DeNicholas, or I can't remember what's your group name again, Jennifer?
Yeah, we're dynamic to Nicholas's.
Dynamic.
What we
A
are.
dynamic to Nicholas organization. Okay, team dynamic. Yeah, she does all these things and you see her do all these things, but the goal is for you to do all these things too. Because we all have to start somewhere. It is not necessarily our executive or senior executive or national executive to be doing it all. You have to be doing it too. And this is the message we send to our peak influence and our executive bound programs. You know, you have to lead the way for your team. They need to see you as the leader in partnership with this amazing organization. Okay, so that's org. Recruiting. Oh, you just set me up beautifully. Your personal recruiting goal and your team recruiting goal. So the org recruiting goal is 75. Jennifer just shared. In the month of March, the Dynamic to Nicholas organization wants to welcome 75 new consultants. What is your piece of that puzzle? Sometimes when organizations put out a huge goal like that, everybody thinks, I don't have to worry about it. Jennifer will take care of it. Or Stacy Johnson can do that. Oh, I know Kelsey's going to recruit. Leah can do it. Right. And you don't feel that piece or determine that piece that's going to be yours. What is your piece of the 75? Leah came back and said 6. Okay. That's your org goal, Leah. Throw it in there. What is
Personal
your
goal.
piece going to be? That's your personal. Okay, so put your personal and your org in there. It's so important to have. Stacy, I love 5 and 10. I love that because then your team is matching your effort. And that's how you put it in front of them. Guys, as your leader, as the director, advanced director, help me. Help me. I want to
For
get it right.
me? Are you
Yes,
asking what my
Stacy.
role? I'm a director right now.
Director, as your director, okay, I want to lead the way for all of you. And my commitment to all of you and to myself is that I'm going to personally welcome 5, but I know as a team, we can welcome 10. And I want to help you find those personal recruits. And with everything we have on the table right now, what is it that you're after and how can I help you get there? So Stacy, by welcoming 5, you are pretty much guaranteed the dinnerware. And you should have enough, right? As long as you're working with them and you're not recruiting them and say, just give it a try. You don't have to do anything. Please, please don't tell me you don't say that to them. Okay. Because they do have to do something. They do. It doesn't fall from heaven. You'll have enough to double your points. Imagine if you had 100%. That would be 30,000 points towards, did you put Alaska in there or did you put, Bermuda? Did you put Bermuda? You were the Bermuda girl. I've been to Bermuda. You're going to love Bermuda. I'm going to tell you, Bermuda is amazing. It's clean and the water is incredible. It's just beautiful. And they have like rules in Bermuda. Like the houses have to be painted a certain way. The roofs have, like when you look at it, it's like a storybook. They only allow 1 car per family on the island so that you don't get the crazy. Bermuda is amazing. So you're going to love it. Okay, so your recruiting goal, okay, and you guys are all on track, right? We're doubling our reach. We usually say each consultant reach 1, each director reach 2, each executive lead the way with 4 or more, right? We're doubling our reach rewards. So we're going to ask each consultant to reach at least 2. So they have the opportunity to get that dinnerware and double points. Each director 4 or more. Each executive 8 or more. Jennifer, did you put yours in there? And it's going by pretty quick, so I can't see it. So yeah, here it is, 8, 12, and 75. So personal team, 12, 75. I love it. In New York. Okay. Now, how are you sharing that goal with your team? I just gave you a verbal example using Stacy's goals as you got to share it with your team, guys. Number 1 rule in creating teamwork and monthly activity, one of our core cultures, is the leader sets and shares the goals with the team. Because the key tenet is everyone working together towards common goals. And if you're thinking right now, I don't have anybody on my team who wants to work together towards common goals. It's because you haven't asked them to. It's because you haven't done this yet. Or you did it and you stopped. And then you did it again. It's consistency that matters. So can you create it to happen? Yes. But you've got to start by sharing the goal, believe in them that they can do it. You got to come back to it. You've got to recognize the success of those who are, and you've got to thank them for working together as a team to reach the booking, selling, and recruiting goals. And of course, the promotion goals, right? Re-promoting as a senior executive team or an executive team in Leah's case or Kayla's case, that I have no doubt will happen. You can do this, right? And you have examples all around you in these 4 amazing organizations on how to do it. You take charge. All right. Then, so share your personal recruiting goal with your team, share your org recruiting goal, track success. It's not just up to Jennifer to track 75, it's up to all of you to track your number as well. Be proud out loud when you're succeeding. Hey guys, I'm so excited. Just wanted to share I got my first recruit this month. Who else is working with someone right now to join Pampered Chef? I want to help you get that dinnerware. I want to help you double your points. If you come at this from servant leader every single time, it's not about you, it's about them. They will follow when you make it about them. Make it about them. Come with a servant's heart.
Judy, we just issued last night on our big director call, we just issued a fun recruiting challenge. So all directors that recruit 2 by the 15th will be invited to an exclusive celebration event with a special home office staff. And then when you have a team member, a consultant or a team leader that that signs 1 by the 15th, they can join you in the event.
Who could that be? So
Mhm.
much fun. We'll see what happens. Okay. Now, the last piece of this puzzle. Okay, so everybody got their personal, their org, their personal recruiting, their org recruiting, right? And I'm going to open it up to questions in a minute. The last piece is your promotion goal. And guys, here's what I'm going to say about this. There is no right or wrong here. It is your goal. If you are a director today and you're happy being a director today, then put I see myself as a director qualified at title every month in the chat and be proud out loud about it. We need lots and lots of successful qualified at title every month directors in Pampered Chef. And we love you and we appreciate you, and Jennifer does too. Or if you're currently an advanced director, if that's where you see yourself in 3 months, be proud out loud. I see myself as an advanced director, being qualified at title, working closely with my director so-and-so, so she can be qualified at title. We're going to go to conference together celebrating that. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking like Diana Wallace, I'm seeing that one pop into the chat. She wants to re-promote to senior director. Then the next piece of the puzzle is what are the steps you need to take to create that to happen, right? So Leah is saying senior director by conference. Is that what you're saying too, Diana? Senior director by conference.
Senior director by the end of this month, hopefully executive by conference.
Okay. Okay, that's a big go. But let's go for senior director first. Let's get you there. Okay, girl. All right. Now, anybody else want to throw anything in the chat where they want to go or where they will be? Doesn't have to be where you want to go. It could be where you want to be. Because what I'm seeing right here, so Amber's saying I want to get at least 3 what, honey? Oh, recruiting. Got it. Got it. Recruiting. Yay. Go for it, Amber. Okay, so now we've got Diana, we've got Leah who want to move to senior. So how do the 2 of you come together and keep each other accountable with the help of Jennifer to do that? And back to AD by May. Okay, Stacy, you too, then you want to promote a director as well. So now we've got, want to for sure promote a director or two, right? To get you where you need to go. How are you guys going to come together as peers, as sister directors who want to work together towards this common goal? And how are you going to keep each other positive and above the line, right? And talking about what you can do and not what can't happen, right? You all get it. You all know what I'm talking about. You've heard me talk about it many times over the years. And Jennifer, this is your group, right? This is the group. Like, you work with the whole team, of course, right? But if they're committing to this, now you want to partner with them to make sure all three of them are working towards that, while you're working with the big group to help them all achieve their goal of being qualified at director title every single, or advanced director title, wherever you are today, every single month. Okay? Because
Yeah,
it's
and I
one
want to
thing.
reiterate, because I know many of the people, directors on my team tell me, I just want to be a director. That's completely fine. If you want to remain a director and you don't have the goal to move up, that's completely fine. But what I want for you, my hope for you, is that you can build a strong, thriving director team. So you're not worried month after month where the sales coming from, where the show's coming from. And the way we do that is by adding people to help you pull in those sales and those shows, so you don't feel like it's you and you alone all the time. And March is certainly the month to add some security to your team.
Yeah. Jennifer, you could not have said that better. The thing is to maintain a director team, you do have to recruit. You cannot rely on yourself to do it. Now, some of you are probably very capable of doing it, right? You could sell $5, $6, $7, $8,000 a month. Some of you already do that, right? But I am telling you, that is great, because you're bringing in that income for yourself and your family. But that is not how you build long-term success in this business. Because just imagine if something were to happen, right? I just had a national executive director call me and tell me her husband's in the hospital with pneumonia. It's like multiple times he's dealt with this over the last few years. Few months, not years, right? Imagine, right? If something happened to you and you couldn't do your business, and that income was gone because you're only relying on yourself and your personal business. If by building a strong director team, you could have a month where you go down to 2,500 or 3,000, but that team is there behind you to support you, selling to earn the income they want to earn. You should never be thinking, I can do this myself. You could set a goal to sell $5,000, go for it. But that goal should not be, I'm going to do it myself. Set a goal to sell 6,500 a month so you can be an elite seller and get that extra percentage. But have those consultants there so you can say, how high can we go as a team? Okay. Kayla, I think this is a great goal, especially your season in life right now. I think this was number 3, right? I'm right? Three, right?
Yes, this is number 3.
Number 3. And I did see a picture of her. She's adorable. And help your existing directors meet their personal goals, of course. And I think, Kayla, you can do that, in this part. You may not be looking to, personally recruit 10 people this month and personally sell like tons and tons, but to continue to part with your team and work together towards that senior director. Some of you might be part of Kayla's team right here on this call right now. Working together with your team to help them reach theirs is I love this. That's perfect, right? Because eventually that beautiful little girl of yours is going to be 6 months old and 8 months old and a year old. And at some point you're going to make the decision, you know what? It's time for me to be able to go in. We just had Emily Kerrigan, National Executive Director from Texas, who had her second child, right? And literally that first year, she took a step back from doing a lot of the extra crazy things she was doing, not crazy things, but the big things she was doing, right? As a result, her personal sales came a little lower. Her personal team sales came a little lower. but they maintained their national executive title throughout it. And then just a few months ago, coming into this year, she said, okay, I'm all in again. And she's got, childcare for her oldest, and she's got, does some homeschooling. And then she's got Ollie, who is her new little girl. And she's able to balance it all and having great success. So yeah, there's a way to do it. Jennifer, I told you I was going to take 30 minutes. Are you mad at me now? 45 minutes later. Okay. Okay.
No, you keep on talking. We're
Okay.
dreamy.
So I want to come back to one thing. First, I want to open up for questions, because I think, I've covered those 5 things. There's one little piece I want to cover at the end, but I do want to have a minute for you guys to come live, ask me if you have any questions, or if there's anything you're thinking of that you want to chat about. I'm happy to go down any path you'd like to go down right now. How many of you just want me to stop talking?
Never.
All right.
Judy, I have a question for you. And it's
Okay,
something
Lynn.
that I struggle with my team. Hi. And my team's fairly small. I think I've got about 12 on there. Is that when I incentivize them to get on calls and, do all the things, they do them. And then, of course, their month is good. But as soon as I'm not incentivizing them to do it, nothing happens. So how do I bridge that gap between doing everything to get them, to do it? Because as soon as I don't do that, they just fall right off, because I was kind of hoping they'd get used to being on the calls, or they'd get used to doing all the things, and they would just continue that, but it just draws flat. So what's your advice?
Okay, here's my advice. Have a heart-to-heart with them. And just say this to them. I would say to them something like this. So if you were my team, if I was looking at the 12 of my team right now, right? And I knew this was the problem, I would come in and I would start the meeting by recognizing them for the success they've had, right? So what have they achieved in the last month? And somehow, some way, right, find a way to brag on everybody in that room, right? So help them understand that they're an important part of your team. That's message 1. And we couldn't do it without every single one of you. And then I might say to them, as I look back at our most successful months, here's what I see. And what you just said, right? I see that when our team comes together, when everyone is present, when everyone is working together towards common goals, that we all win. And I want to give you an example of that. Back in this month, and I want to say I incentivized you. We'll talk about that in a minute. Back in this month, when we kicked off the month, almost every one of you were here. And we came together and we said, here's what we're going after. And we had great results. And I asked myself, how can that continue to happen? Because I want to be there for every single one of you to help you reach your goals. And then I look at other months, we didn't all come together. Could be because I didn't give you an incentive to come in. And we didn't do as well. And so here's what I want to ask you. Do you want to see success in your business? And if knowing that coming together as a team where we all support each other, right? So my saying used to be, so many of you have heard me say this, the success of any one individual in our organization leads to the success of all. That's was my standard line. You can use that, Lynn. I believe that the success of any one individual in our organization will lead to the success of all. And that is God's honest truth, guys. All you need is one. You need one person to be excited and to be on it. And all of a sudden, the whole tide can change. So success of one does lead to the success of all, right? And that's what I want for you. But what I want to know is, what do you want for you? Are you willing to commit to come to our kickoff meetings, right? Are you willing to commit to be involved in our Facebook wall, to share your successes? So we cheer each other on to reach the goals they've set for themselves. I would just be honest with them, Lynn, honestly. And number 2, I would never incentivize them to come to a meeting. That should be an expectation. honestly. I believe in recognizing what you want repeated and rewarding the exceptional. If you are spending money on things that they should be doing anyway, it becomes difficult, right? So think about, how do you recognize them for coming to the meeting? Maybe you send them, hey, a quick like happy mail. Maybe it's a postcard, right? Maybe go buy postcards with cruise ships on them somewhere, right? And say, so glad to see your smiling face in our meeting today. Thanks for coming. Boom, throw a snail mail. Send them the next month, send them a little messenger. So glad you were able to join us today. What was your one big takeaway from our meeting? How do you recognize them for doing the right behaviors? And then if you're going to spend money, Lynn, you spend it on what Pampered Chef isn't already spending it on, and what you really want is exceptional, right? So if you're going to spend money on a consultant who is coming into business and for the next 3 months sells X amount each month. A consultant who welcomes a new consultant or two, right? Where they're getting the dinnerware already. So you don't need to just recognize them for earning the dinnerware. That's the reward. Does this make sense?
I have a little thought on that too.
Yeah.
Lynn, this may or may not be the case for you, but I know with myself, when I have money on the line and I'm investing in something, I'm going to make sure to promote the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So if I'm telling people that you're going to get entered into this giveaway if you do so and so, I'm posting about it all the time. I'm individually messaging. I'm making sure that they are cued in and that they're doing the things to get in on it. When I don't have money on the line, it's easy to forget and get away from reminding them. So, what I want you to take away from that is, am I promoting the cause as heavily when I don't have something on the line than when I do? And then one analogy that really comes to mind lately about the cause, and this is the same for myself, and tell me if it's the same for you all too. If you have a lamp and it's just laying there, it's not plugged into anything, it's not useful. We're the lamp. We have to be plugged in to a source of inspiration and motivation and education to shine. And I think sometimes we need to let our people know that if their lamp is not plugged in, no wonder they don't work.
I
No
love this
wonder they're not
analogy.
shining,
I
right?
love this.
So maybe I need to do a video and plug in a lamp because, we need that visual, but that's exactly what it is. I can tell you hands down, my successful people are the ones that are plugged in and on the calls. I notice if I start seeing people drift away and not getting on the calls, their sales are going down, their bookings are going down, their recruiting are going down. Myself, I would never be where I am today if I was not plugged in to the calls every week. And yes, you may feel like you hear the same things, but I promise you there is a new nugget in every single call. You're going to hear Amanda say something that you never heard me say. Or maybe she says the same exact thing, but she says it in a different way that relates to you. We have to be plugged in order to shine, in order to get where we want to go. We have to have that electricity, and we only get it when we're plugged in.
I love this analogy. And Jennifer, they're all saying you need to go live with that.
I can do that.
And you can. And then I challenge all of you to take, when she goes live with that, take that video, plug it onto your wall, your team wall, and say, hey, did you see Jennifer's message? I could not agree more. That's all you have to say. And then make sure that the message is getting to all levels in the organization. And then see who responds to you. And grab onto the ones who want it, right? You can't, one of the hardest things we have to deal with as a leader is really coming to terms with that whether someone shows up or doesn't show up, stays as a director, doesn't stay as a director, is a consultant for a month, a year, or 20 years with us. that is not a reflection on us. It's not that they like us or they don't like us. It's their choice. And we take it personally sometimes. If I took it personally every single time a consultant or a director left my team when I was a field leader like Jennifer, I'd have never made it. I would have never made it. But somebody wisely said to me, Judy, as long as you know you have put the systems in place, the opportunities in place that people can feed into, that you have a great host coaching for your hosts, that you have a great new consultant onboarding program, that you have great training in your organization, that it's available to everyone. And you know that people are succeeding as a result of that. Obviously, yes. Check the box. Yes. The first one we checked, yes. The second one, are there people succeeding in this organization? Absolutely. Not even a doubt. Then you have done what you need to do, right? And if they choose to leave or make excuses, or they're not having the success that they say they want to, or they're not doing what they need to do to create that success, that's not on you. That's on them.
Well, and I don't take it personal, because I know everybody has to work their own business, right? But I do find it frustrating because I do know they could do it, and I mean, how many of us have heard like no one is booking parties? I ask everyone. And so I ask them, can I see who you asked? Show me your book, show me your tracker. Oh no, I don't write it down. I don't write. I'm like, so you didn't ask everybody, right? Like, it's just frustrating to be like, okay, or they contact me and say, oh, I need to make money this month. Okay, send out the bookings. Oh, I can't do that. I'm like,
that's exactly what I'm telling you, Lynn. And
right.
you know what you have to do? You put the systems in place to support the masses. You work with the willing.
Right.
You
recruit, right? Recruiting
and
keeps
recruit new ones who are the willing, right? They're coming into your business, so they're the willing. You work with the willing. So your new consultants come into your business. You consider them all, I call them A's, right? Anybody who starts, there's A's, B's, and C's in every team. Your A's are all new consultants in their first 30, 60, or 90 days until they prove otherwise, until they ghost you. And let's hope that's not many of them, right? If they're ghosting you, there's a reason. You got to figure it out. 30, 60, 90 days, those are your A's. And anyone who says, I want to move up in the career plan, I want to grow, team leader, director. Okay, those are A's. B's are your solid true blue consultants. I call them true blue, B for blue, true blue. They're true blue. They're there. They show up at meetings. They sell every month. They may not be a superstar or a rock star, or they could be a superstar or a rock star. They could be selling, 3, 4, 5,000 every month, but they don't have a goal to move up. Okay, those are B's. So A's, new consultants, goal to move up. B's, solid true blue. They're active every month, a couple hundred, a couple thousand, whatever it is. They show up. They're team players. You love them. C's, they're the ones you need to have a glass of wine before you talk to them, if they even allow you to talk to them, if they're not ghosting you or not showing up at all. Okay, you have to look at your team and be very honest about who they are. And your attention, your systems are in place to support everybody, A's, B's, and C's. The majority of your time go to the A's and then the B's, and you recognize the heck. Recognition, recognize what you want repeated. You recognize those people. Most of the time, the B's, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the recognition. So recognize them for what they do bring to your team, whether it's a couple hundred a month and they're active every single month and such an important part of your team, or they're selling 2,000 and they're on their way to earning a trip. But you don't put time on your calendar like I put on mine today, right? With people who don't have goals to move up, to recruit, to help build what it is you're trying to build. And it's not mean or callous. It just, at the end of the day, it's a business. You pour your heart into all of them, but you give your time where it's matched.
Thank you.
Okay. And it is now 11 o'clock. I took an entire hour, Jennifer Dinklage. But I have a feeling it's going to be the best hour of my day, maybe of my week, until everybody shows up here on Sunday, Jennifer. When all the executives show up here for executive seminar next week. You guys are the best. I just want you to know I believe in you. Oh, there's a little baby. Look at her. Oh my
Little
goodness.
sis.
How old is she? How old is she now? 2, 3 months?
She'll be 5 weeks on Saturday.
Oh my gosh. 5 weeks. I'm way
Yeah.
ahead of myself.
Yeah.
She's still a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you,
Here's
Kayla.
her bow. She looks naked without her bow, but
She looks beautiful. That is just great. Congratulations. My littlest grandson is turning 5, and my daughter said to me the other day, who was probably your age, Kayla, she said to me, Mom, my baby's turning 5. And I said, you could have another one. And she said, yeah, no, I'm not doing this again. She said, when that means the baby will be 5 when he's 11. I will have a one going into kindergarten and one going to junior high. I said, yeah, probably not a good choice right now for you. She's a teacher too, so she got kids around her all the time. Anyway, good for you, Kayla. God bless her. God bless you. That's wonderful. All right, guys.
thank you.
Mwah. I love you all to pieces. I'm going to go with Jennifer. I know you might want to say something to the rest of them when I'm not around, but thank you for allowing me to come in and support you. And Jennifer, invite me back. Like we could celebrate in April, you know, the senior executive team success. We could celebrate their successes that they had in the month of March. You know, you're having that little special meeting. Like it's not on my calendar, but maybe I can jump into it for 5 minutes. So
Okay.
let me know. Okay.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate you so much. I
Okay.
love this hour. Thank you.
I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining. I hope that you all got as much out of it as I did. I love Judy. I mean, she like seriously, she'll kick me in the pants anytime I need it. So if y'all need a kick in the pants, let me know. I'll get Judy on the line. She'll kick us both in the pants. But you all are amazing. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. And I mean, it truly is my goal to help you each succeed in whatever it is you want to do. I don't want you to ever feel like that I'm pushing my goals on you. My goal, honestly, is to help you get what you want out of this business. And my time is dedicated to you all first, and then the rest of the org next. So if you want time, you need attention, you need help, reach out to me. I'm here. Okay. So I love you, my friends. I want all of you all to send me your goals that Judy talked about. I typed them up and I'm going to put them in the director chat in case you missed them. And then I would love for you all to send them to me just so I can help you get where you want to go in your business. Any questions or comments before we jump off? All right. I love you, friends. Let's do this. Bye.